She wasn't Roman. She wasn't born in Italy. And she wasn't supposed to change history. But Cleopatra, queen, strategist, survivor, didn't just step into Rome's world. She cracked it wide open. She seduced its generals, challenged its senate, and became one of the biggest reasons the Roman Republic fell. Forget what you think you know about Cleopatra. This isn't just some love story. This is about power, propaganda, war, and the woman who almost conquered Rome from the outside. Welcome to Contemporary Roman. Today we dive into the scandal, seduction, and political chess game that made Cleopatra the most dangerous woman in Roman history. Let's begin. Act 1. The Queen of Egypt, but not really Egyptian. Let's start with the basics. Cleopatra VII, yes, the seventh, was the last active ruler of the Ptolemaic dynasty in Egypt. But here's the twist. She wasn't ethnically Egyptian. She was Macedonian Greek, descended from Ptolemy, one of Alexander the Great's generals. Still, Cleopatra embraced Egyptian culture like no ruler before her. She spoke Egyptian, a first in her dynasty, worshipped native gods, and dressed like the goddess Isis herself. Basically, she knew how to play the room. Act 2. Enter Rome and Julius Caesar. Now here's where things get spicy. In 48 BCE, Cleopatra's throne was under serious threat. Egypt was in civil war. Her brother husband, yes, that's real, had ousted her from power. So she turned to the world's biggest power broker, Rome. Julius Caesar had just arrived in Alexandria chasing down his rival Pompey, who had been, brace yourself, beheaded as a welcome gift from the Egyptians. Caesar was not impressed. Cleopatra knew she had one chance to win him over, so legend says she had herself smuggled into his palace, in a rug, or maybe a linen sack, either way, iconic. And just like that, boom, Rome and Egypt were officially entangled. Act 3. Caesar and Cleopatra. Love, power, and a child. Caesar and Cleopatra weren't just lovers, they were political allies. She needed Roman support to crush her brother and take back the throne. He needed Egypt's wealth, and a little R&R. Together they toured the Nile like a royal honeymoon. 9 months later, enter Caesarion, little Caesar. And yes, she claimed Caesar was the father. Back in Rome, this sent shockwaves. Caesar already had a wife, and Roman law didn't even recognize marriage with foreigners. But Caesar brought Cleopatra and their baby to Rome in 46 BCE. She stayed in a villa across the Tiber. She dazzled the Roman elite and scandalized them too. Romans saw Cleopatra as a dangerous foreign queen with far too much influence over their beloved Caesar. And when Caesar was assassinated in 44 BCE, Cleopatra fled the city fast. Act 4. Round 2. Cleopatra and Mark Antony. Now cue. Act 2 of the love drama. After Caesar's death, Rome was in chaos. His loyal general, Mark Antony, took control of the eastern provinces. And in 41 BCE, Antony summoned Cleopatra to explain why she hadn't helped avenge Caesar's murder. Cleopatra, being Cleopatra, made a dramatic entrance, sailing into the city of Tarsus on a barge dripping in gold, dressed as Aphrodite. Antony was hooked. Act 5. Love, War, and the Rivalry with Octavian. Their romance became legendary. Antony spent winters in Alexandria, declared Cleopatra Queen of Kings, and even granted land to her children. Meanwhile, back in Rome, Caesar's official heir, Octavian, was fuming. To Octavian, Cleopatra wasn't a queen. She was a threat, a foreign ruler trying to turn Rome into an Eastern monarchy through seduction and sorcery. So he launched a full-on smear campaign. The Roman Senate went wild. Antony's gone native. Cleopatra's trying to steal Rome. In 32 BCE, war was officially declared, not against Antony, but against Cleopatra. Act 6, the Battle of Actium, the beginning of the end. It all came to a head at the Battle of Actium in 31 BCE. Octavian's forces clashed with Antony and Cleopatra's combined navy in a dramatic sea battle off the coast of Greece. And when Cleopatra's fleet suddenly retreated, Antony followed. It was a disaster. A year later, Octavian invaded Egypt. Act 7, the death of a dynasty. Facing defeat, Antony committed suicide after being falsely told Cleopatra was already dead. When she heard the news, Cleopatra locked herself in her mausoleum and, according to legend, died by asp bite. Though historians still debate that part. It could have been poison, or a Roman execution disguised as a noble death. Either way, with Cleopatra gone, Egypt was annexed by Rome. Caesarion, her son with Caesar, was quietly executed. And Octavian? He became Augustus, Rome's first emperor. Act 8, Legacy. Love her or loathe her, you can't ignore her. So what's Cleopatra's legacy? To Romans, she was a seductress, a manipulative queen, the face of Eastern decadence. But modern historians see her differently. A brilliant strategist, a skilled diplomat, a woman who wielded power in a world run by men and nearly outmaneuvered them all. Cleopatra didn't just shape Egyptian history, she changed the course of Roman history forever. Without Cleopatra, there might never have been an empire. She wasn't Rome's empress, but she ruled its heart. She never stepped into the Senate, but she toppled a republic. Cleopatra didn't just make history. She bent the two most powerful men in Rome to her will, and went down fighting an empire that feared what she represented, a foreign queen who refused to be controlled. Her story isn't just about seduction, it's about strategy, survival, and legacy. And when Rome tried to erase her, they made her immortal. Thanks for watching. Hit subscribe for more scandals, schemes, and ancient drama that shaped the ancient world. Rome wasn't built in a day. But this channel? It's growing fast. Be part of the empire.